Hope Channel, changing lives.
To another exciting episode of Real Talk in the studios of Hope TV Ghana, your preferred and favorite Christian channel. Thankfully, we are back again. I'm sure you guys had a splendid time with Pastor Randy Skeet during the campaign session that we had for 2 weeks. I'm sure you were blessed. I'm sure you missed Real Talk, but we are on your screens again, bringing you yet another interesting, exciting, and educative story today on your screens. Remember, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, Hope TV Ghana. Please join the conversation live by leaving your comments under the comment sections. Your thoughts, your opinions, your agreements, and your disagreements. Trust me, today's story is a very, very interesting one. It's one that will keep you wondering what is going on in our world now. One that will surprise some people, but trust me, this is what some people are living with. This is what some parents and kids or children are going through in their lives. And a lady who is going through this disheartening situation has sent her story to us. And on that note, I'd like to remind you that you can also send your stories to us through our WhatsApp number, our email address, or you can go on Facebook and direct message us, or even Instagram, and send your stories to us for us to have a conversation. If you don't have a fully fleshed out story, please do not worry. You can send a topic that you want us to discuss. It can range from relationship, career, money, that's finance, mother-daughter relationship, father-son relationship. Any issue that you want us to discuss, please go ahead and send us your story or your topic for us to discuss. Again, we have gone far and near to find you amazing panelists, some joining me in the studio and others joining me virtually. But before I introduce my guests to you, I'd like us to take a look at our story. Like I mentioned, it's a very interesting one. And so please pay attention to what we have to discuss today so that you can join the conversation live. Okay, so this lady sends us her story and we have titled it, "Why Would My Own Mother Hate Me So Much?" Interestingly, mother-daughter relationship is one that a lot of people admire. You know, people say mothers are role models, they're a child's treasure, daughters are mother's sunshine. You know, usually you hear good and loving stories between a mother and her daughter. Hardly or rarely do you hear one that is full of hate, that is full of, kisses, that is full of just turmoil between the two of them. You never really see a mother hate a daughter so much, or a daughter hate a mother. It's usually full of love, full of understanding, full of admiration. But unfortunately, today we are on the other side of the table. So I'm going to go ahead and read our stories to you, then we can continue. So this one says, "Dear Real Talk, I am struggling to believe my mother is my real mother. I don't think a real mother would do these things to her child. My dad died when I was 10 years old. Before his death, I was his favorite child, even though I am an only child. I knew without a doubt that my dad loved me. He would always ask my mom to stop yelling or beating me over petty kid stuff and takes me away to console me as I cry. My mother always complained that he likes spoiling me and wonders who he loves more, me or her. My dad would jokingly say, since I am her mini version, loving me equates loving her, which I'm beginning to think she hated that statement he made. I looked just like my mom. After my dad's death, my mother's attitude towards me changed for the worse. She never likes anything I do in the house. She calls me a witch. Sometimes she has even accused me of killing a husband, my own dad, since he always asked for me to sleep next to him during his last sick days. The recent issue that makes me question if she is indeed my mother is her desire to turn down every man I introduce to her. I have had 3 suitors come home to introduce themselves and to ask for my hand in marriage. But my mother keeps sending them away. She tells them all kinds of lies about me, saying things like I am lazy, don't know how to cook or clean, I am a dirty person who has a nasty attitude. Meanwhile, I am the only person who takes care of our home and cook all our meals every single time. The last man I brought home told her he still loves me and would want to marry me regardless of all what she said about me. When she saw he wasn't bothered by what she said, she blatantly told him not to set foot in her house again, and it will be over her dead body if she accepts this marriage. After my boyfriend left, I confronted my mother and asked her why she hates me so much. She told me point blank that she hates me because I ruined her marriage. I became the center of my dad's world the moment I was born, and finally made her a widow. As long as she lives, she will make my life miserable. I am shocked and can't believe my own mother will say and do this to me. My boyfriend still wants to marry me. Since my mother is my only surviving parent, I'm worried I can't get married without her acceptance. I want to forgo the traditional marriage and just go and sign in court. Can I do that? Also, I have decided to cut off my mother for the rest of my life. Please help me. This is such a sad story because you wouldn't expect such disruptive relationship between a mother and a child, especially a daughter, and an only child for that matter. And it's sad. You can see from the story, the mother seems to be going through something as well as the child. The mother has lost her husband. She's a widow. She feels bitter. She feels betrayed. The daughter has lost her father. And unfortunately, she seems to be losing her mother, or has already lost her mother as well. And we are going to go into the conversation. We are going to discuss it. But before we do that, and before I introduce you to my panelists, please let's go for a quick break. And when we come back, you'll be hearing from my panelists, the one in the studio and those joining me virtually as well. My name remains Evie. We'll be right back after this break. Please do not go anywhere. This is Real Talk.
Saturday, 28th May 2022 is Hope Channel Offering Day in all Seventh-day Adventist churches in Southern Ghana Union.
Si di alafadeka, si di blato, si di blave, pe hoyi konatenya kwakpere Hope TV nchi, eye watenya ano kwakpere mianchi, nyanya majiraro be mano kwakpere Hope TV nchi, lechi shia lechi, ple ngujojode be Hope TV na nogbe nami.
And I trust said this year 2022 onyame be ye amana broso onyame won hiraw omue kwan ma ufifre bia be fire no otwedi ampo nyame amana nya dom bebre. Every door that is locked or closed in your life, I pray that the Lord will open that door so that blessings will flow like a stream in your life. Your life will never be the same. Your brabe dani biara onyame be hiraw.
Let's all donate generously so we can purchase an outside broadcast van to help share God's good news to change lives. Hope Channel Ghana, we are here to communicate a refreshing God to a thirsty generation.
Cocoa dairy-free coconut milk. Cocoa dairy-free coconut milk is a fully plant-based milk, non-curdling in tea or coffee, and it's a lovely treat with any breakfast beverage or meal. It contains calcium and vitamin D2 for strong teeth and bones, and vitamin B12 to help boost your blood for vitality. Cocoa is 100% vegetarian and is approved by the Vegetarian Society of UK. It's also lactose and dairy-free, which is good even for people with lactose intolerance. Cocoa, get one today. Cocoa dairy-free coconut milk. Nature's health at your doorstep. For bulk purchases, contact 027-444-0180. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA. Cocoa dairy-free coconut milk.
quick break. We are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana, coming your way with Real Talk. My name is Evie, and going forward, I'm going to introduce you to my guest. The person in the studio is Kwabena Ichampo. He is from the official town SDA Church. Kwabena is not a stranger to the studio. He's been here several times. You guys probably know his face. And today we are just happy to have him in the studio. And there's a special, I don't know, I don't like to call fun. There's a special, what's it called? Special guest or special friend of the show. And Kwabena is probably going to say hi to her, but I'll do that first. Auntie Martha, I'm sure you're watching, is saying hello to you, and I hope you're doing well. Kwabena, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
How is work?
Everything is well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
The rains are not disturbing you. The rains are disturbing people. Oh. Hey, you'll be seeing it all over the news. People's homes are flooded. Even, I think there was a story about one of our church being flooded so terribly.
Really? In Accra here?
Yeah, in Accra here. I forget the name, but I saw it on the news, and it's terrible, but I'm glad that you're fine.
Yes.
How is Auntie Martha?
She's doing very well. She's watching.
Oh, I know she's watching. I think they said the church is New Life SDA Church, and it was terrible.
Oh, okay.
It was terrible.
That's
but I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad to have you in the studios today.
Good.
Are you ready for the conversation?
Very.
I know you have a loving mother, so I don't think you relate to this
and also
story.
the only child.
So I see. Joining me virtually, I'm going to Esther Nana Ikia Dapa Forsen. She's from the Valley View Campus Church, Techiman. Esther, how are you doing?
I'm blessed, and you?
Same. Thank you so much for asking. But how is Techiman? Are the rains as terrible as they are in Accra?
No.
Really? Oh, I see. So I'm guessing your week has been good.
Oh, very good.
We thank God. And I'm sure you're ready for the conversation.
Yes, I am.
Thank you so much for joining us. So going straight to Henrietta Kusiwa Amankwa. She is joining us from the Bearwood SDA Church, and she is joining us all the way from the UK. Henrietta, can you hear me? If you can, good evening, and how are you doing? How is everyone in the UK?
Good evening, Evie. Very well by God's grace, and everyone over here is also good.
We thank God. I'm sure the weather is great for you guys. Oh, as for UK, it's raining all the time as well, but probably no more floods like here.
No floods, but the weather keeps changing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We are experiencing our fake winter, and it comes with floods and all sorts of problems. But we are glad to be alive and to be doing well. So let's go straight into the conversation. Toka, please, when you hear Toka, I'm referring to Kwabena. What's your take on the story? What's going on through your mind?
After reading the story, I was like, is this woman really the mother of this lady?
Right.
Because we normally know that mothers show love for their children or for their kids. And here in this case, she's the only child. So I mean, the mother is supposed to love her with her everything.
Exactly.
But we are seeing directly the opposite of, I mean, what a mother should do for the child.
Recording stopped.
It's very sad. I mean, the story is some way.
It's sad.
It wasn't supposed to happen that way, but
yeah, it's happening like that.
Yes, it's a very sad story.
What could be the possible reasons why a mother would just treat her child in the manner that this woman is going about? What do you think happened? What do you think is happening to make her act in the way she's acting?
You know, some people can be very petty. Certain things that you would say to someone that, according to you or to you, you might think, oh, the person shouldn't get offended with whatever you said. When you read the story, you could see that when the man made a comment that, oh, I mean, she's a mini version of you, so the woman didn't take it lightly, but the husband thought, oh, I'm just kidding or something. So from the story, you could see that the mother thought that the child was sharing the husband with her. Even for the fact that even when the man was on his sick bed, the daughter had to even go and sleep by his side.
Yeah.
The question I asked myself was, where was this man's wife?
I'm sure she was also lying there.
You get it.
Yeah.
So, I think she felt insecure. That probably the daughter is taking away her shine. You get it. So that is why probably she's acting
the way
in
she's
such
acting.
a way.
That's interesting. Esther, coming to you, what's your general take? Okay, so it looks like we are getting some technical issues. So, Toka, I'm going to be doing this with you until they get back. But you mentioned that the father's comments and all that. Do you think the father was wrong? Did he push it too
Recording
far?
in progress.
Saying things like, oh, she's your mini version, so if I love her, it means I love you. And when the mother scolds the child, he comes to pick her away and console her and tell her not to be beaten and all that. Do you think he went too far? Do you think there's anything wrong with a father loving or doting on his only daughter the way he did?
Loving your child, whether a boy or a girl, is not wrong. I mean, when I read a story, two stories from the Bible came to mind.
Okay.
When you look at Jacob and Joseph, Jacob had other 11 sons.
Right.
But the Bible says that he loved Joseph more than the other 11. And he showed it physically for the other brothers to see. What was the end or what was the effect?
They sold him.
Hatred and those kind of things. When you look at Rebecca and her children, Jacob and Esau, even though Rebecca knew that this was God's plan, that I'm going to bless Jacob, but the mother, the love that she had for Jacob, when she heard the conversation, because she loved Jacob more than Esau, see the end result. So yes, you can love your son, you can love your daughter, you can love your children. You can love one more than the other. But personally, I don't think you should show it too much.
Okay.
Because when you do that, it can create some tension between the other siblings.
But this is not another sibling.
Yes. It's only even one.
Right.
It's one. But it created a tension between the daughter and the mother.
The mother.
Yeah,
I get you. Esther, coming to you, I'm going to take your general take on the story. And you're a woman. I'm wondering what in your mind could be the possible reasons why a mother would treat her daughter in such a way. You know, she berates her, she talks down to her, to the extent of sending men away, men who want to marry her, sending them away, and according to the child, making up lies just to get the men to not marry her. What could possibly be the reason why a mother would treat a child like this?
Evie, reading this story, seriously, I was just shocked, surprised. It's really a sad story.
Yeah.
I would say this is an unfair world. It's very unfair. Though, what I've also learned, I've seen with the story is that parents should be very careful with how they show love to their kids. But it was not the man's fault. You see, that was their only daughter. You know, men and their daughters are so close.
Yeah.
When it comes to men and their daughters, they are so close. So you can't do anything about it. So I think the woman was just jealous. Or, to use a better word, she was immature. Yes, because these things happen. You could take it lightly. As time goes on, your child will be with you to an extent. From morning to, let's say, after school, being with the dad for some time, and the whole evening is yours. So what is it again? So if it's not immaturity, I don't think someone will do this. I'm even shocked, even after the death of the husband.
Yeah.
They still have issues with her daughter. As Kobe rightly said, you might think she is not their daughter.
Yeah.
Maybe they adopted the girl and she didn't know, and she took a lot of resemblance from the woman. That is why the woman was behaving that way. Because if it's your daughter, I don't think you will do what you are doing.
You're doing it. Do you think the father went too far with his show of love and affection for the child?
He did. He did.
Okay.
Maybe to the extreme, because women, we are jealous. But he didn't envisage that it will go to that extent.
Right.
Yes. Because I know that if he was still alive, maybe the case would have been different. As the child would be going to the boarding school or something, and then the woman would get the love of her life back. And I know by now the woman will be telling the husband, let her go and marry so that I can also enjoy my marriage.
I know, right?
But that is, yes. Unfortunately, he died before anything could change. It was not his fault anyway. It was not his fault.
Yeah. I mean, I can see what you're saying, Esther. Now that he's dead, before anything could change, all the resentment has made the issue even worse. So now she takes it all out on the girl. The death of her husband, the annoyance of the child, everything. Coming to you, Henrietta, what is your take on the story? What do you think what would make a mother behave like this towards her child? And the other question I was asking Esther right now, did the father go too far? Or you think the woman is just being unreasonable with her attitude, regardless of how the father loved his child? I mean, some parents will even want the fathers to be present in the life of their children, and you haven't, and it has gone overboard, and you're upset. Please tell us your view.
Thank you, Evie. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so this is a sensitive case. After reading this, I felt it's disheartening and unfortunate on both sides. Like you first said that there's this bitterness in the woman because she couldn't enjoy the beautiful moment with the husband. She lost her husband in an early stage. And on the other side of the lady, she's being blamed for something she's not the cause of. She's in the center of all these problems, although she didn't cause it. So it's disheartening. And coming to what are the possible reasons that a mother can hate a child, I would say there shouldn't be any reason for a mother to hate a child. But as humans as we are, there are some circumstances. Maybe we would say a child being disobedient. But this time around, from the story, we are not seeing that. This daughter of hers is not being disobedient. That's how I see it. But I think there is this trait. When we go to looking at it from a psychological background, you see, there are these daughters who are so much attached to their daddies, their fathers, and it's termed as the electoral complex. So I think the woman sensed this trait in the daughter. She saw it. And I think she should have been happy, but rather she took it a wrong turn. It became jealousy. There was a rivalry. Like my other panelists said, there was a rivalry amongst them. So I think she could have managed it very well because she's the mother. Right. And she's matured. The girl was very young. She was very young and she didn't know anything. So she could have managed it very well. But rather, it grew into something else. It grew into hatred. You see, she wanted to enjoy most of her time with the husband. I can even say that maybe the husband is the love of her life, and she has never been much loved by anybody. But the husband was the one who was able to show her that love. And all of a sudden, when she gave birth, this attention was driving away from her to the daughter. We might think that it's not reasonable, but there are some people with this trait. Yes, there are some people who fight with other people over their friends, when they see their friends turning their attention to other person.
True.
So I think this woman has this trait, which she ignored because she didn't realize that it can be a problem in her marriage or as she becoming a mother. So she lost her husband. There's this bitterness, and which has she tried to suppress it, and now it has grown into hatred against the daughter. There is this saying that unfulfilled desires are dangerous causes, and this has matured into hatred against the daughter. Whenever she remembers that, I think now I would have been enjoying with my husband, but this lady or this daughter of mine took that joy of my life from my life. And for the third question, was it wrong for the dad to show love openly to the daughter? No. The fathers are supposed to love their daughters. Mothers are supposed to love their daughters. And children are supposed to reciprocate this love to their parents. And there is this saying my husband usually says that a childless house is a desolate place. So I think the child brought out this joy in the house. And the love that the man saw in the wife, he tried to show this love to the daughter as well. So I don't think that showing love to the daughter was wrong. But maybe where things might have gone wrong is whenever he tries to stand in for the daughter when the mother is trying to discipline the child. Whatever reason it might be, I think sometimes parents has to be on the same stand when one of the partners are disciplining a child. Because it's going to be like you're always on your daughter's side. And I'm always the wrong person here. Yes, so I think that could only be the wrong thing here, but there's nothing wrong showing love to your daughter.
Thank you so much, Henrietta, for that extensive comments and explanation. Thank you so much. I completely agree with what all of you are saying. I mean, a mother is supposed to show love to their child unconditionally, and a father likewise. Unfortunately, I don't know if he ignored the needs of his wife as well, because I just cannot begin to understand how a mother would just take such a hatred stance against her child. And like you said, it was almost like a rivalry between the two. This was your child and your husband. But coming to the crust of the story, Toka, her decision to go ahead and marry without her mother's consent, because this is the third suitor. Like, how many do I have to bring home? And now you've openly told me that it will be over your dead body. Exactly. So whoever I will bring, your stances, I won't allow you to marry them. So now she's thinking, I want to go ahead and marry without her. I won't even bother with this, what we call the engagement to the traditional marriage, which needs both families there. She says, I won't even bother with that. I'll just go straight to the courts and go and find 2 witnesses and go and sign and get married. Do you think this her decision to marry without her mother's consent is advisable?
As she said in the story, once the mother is alive, she's going to make her life miserable.
Right.
Meaning the mother is not ready to accept any man that comes her way. She didn't tell us her age at the moment.
No, she did not.
But I think she's a full-grown woman, ready for marriage.
I mean, for 3 suitors.
Exactly. Going ahead without her mother's consent is not advisable, because she would definitely need the blessings from her mother. And the mother is not ready to do that because of whatever has ensued between the daughter and then the father. I think she has aunties and uncles.
Yeah, we could.
She's also a Christian.
Yeah.
She has a church pastor. I think she should talk to these people before taking any decision. for her to go ahead without the mother's consent, I do not agree to that.
Okay.
She should talk to these people, get advice from them. Probably they can talk to the mother, speak with the mother, and then there could be some changes. I mean, something good can come out of Nazareth. So she should try that one before she takes a next step.
Okay. Esther, coming to you, do you think her decision to marry without her mother's consent is one that you would ask her to go ahead with? Or in your opinion, a mother is a mother and she needs her regardless? But she's going through, I don't want to use the word hell, but she's going through a lot. And she's struggling and she needs to settle down. And men are coming and the mother is sacking them. So what, in your opinion, do you think she has to do concerning this her decision to go on without her mother?
Okay, so I think going against her mother's decision or taking her mother out is not a good decision.
Okay.
No matter, her mother is her mother. She has really taken long with the situation because, as Kobe rightly said, the mom has friends, she has church, she has family. Moreover, it's not her mom who is going to take the bride price or whatever from the marriage. It is her father's side.
Yeah.
You get it? So she should have gone to that extent. She can't solve this issue alone. No, not at all. So first of all, I think she should have gone to a very close friend of her mom, explain certain things to her, and then that close friend will first of all talk to the mother. If it doesn't work, you move to the family. Then you go to the church. That is if the family doesn't work. I don't think a mom will be so, I don't know what word to use, so hard on her daughter to the extent that she'll go from a friend to the family, to the church pastor, or an elder, and the mom will still say no.
I'm not sure. This one seems to have a heart set on just destroying her child. Yeah, but let me hear you.
If she's able to go to that extent and the mom still says no, for me, I would say you should just pray, and then the other family members are there. If they are ready to support you, why not?
Yeah,
about it.
I can see that.
Once a woman is not ready for it, what can you do? You can't force her.
Yeah.
She might be in a ceremony, be moody, whatever. You don't care because you have done your part. But if you say you aren't going to tell anybody, you just move ahead, go to a court word, and if anything happens, where are you going?
Yeah.
Today's marriages, with all these problems of a lot of issues now in marriages, there's abuses going on, divorce can happen, anything can happen. So when you go out of your mom's way and anything happens, where are you going?
That's true. That's true.
The case. So the best thing is to go to the family, try the church. She should be very prayerful. Because for me, it got to, when I was reading the story, it got to a point I was thinking that something is
going on, huh?
Yeah. Because if you should narrate this story to someone and say, then the woman is a witch. Yes. Because I just thought, I was like, the woman is a witch. How will you just say, I hate my daughter?
I know, right?
You won't marry. 3 suitors. It's very bad. It's very bad. So the girl should be very prayerful. She should be. Because if you are not prayerful, you wouldn't break all these yokes.
Yeah.
With prayer, anything is possible. She would just accept without even knowing she has accepted. And then you go on with your marriage and then continue praying that she doesn't still follow you and destroy you at the end.
Right.
She can go, but she needs to talk to elders.
Okay.
The elders have to come in, talk to the mother, and see the way forward.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And Rita, this story is a dicey one. I mean, it's just sad. It's so terribly sad. But what do you take, or what is your opinion on her decision to just go ahead and marry without her mother? You know, she's brought suitors. The first one you rejected, she's okay, she let it go. The second one, same. The third one, I'm sure this guy probably knows who she is, and after all the accusations of she's lazy and she has a nasty attitude, maybe he hasn't experienced it. And it's even a miracle he's still staying, because to hear a mother tell you that their child is lazy, has a nasty attitude, doesn't cook, and for you to say, I'm still going on to be with her, that is just a miracle on its own. But then he wants to stay. He wants to still marry her. And this one says, over my dead body. And I sort of feel like it's almost, what's it called, revenge. In her opinion, in the mother's opinion, you've killed my husband and you want to go ahead and get a husband. It's not going to happen. And so she's doing everything and anything she can to take away what she thinks the daughter has taken away from her. So with this in mind, and what is your take on she saying that I am going to go ahead and marry without you, I'm going to cut you off out of my life forever? How would you advise her?
I do disagree with her. Like Esther said, your mother is your mother.
All right.
Yes, she has exhibited some traits in her that is, I would say, devilish. Yeah. Because everyone will say this is like witchcraft. All those, maybe spiritually she's not a witch.
Yeah.
But all that she's doing shows that she can be one. Well, she for now, she needs to take some things in place. She needs to do something. I don't think she has made any approach since her mom told her about her hatred towards her. So I think it is time for her to involve other people, like my other panelists said. And looking at this, I'm sure the woman is ready for this. Yes, because she has made it plain that I'm ready to make your life miserable.
Mm-hmm.
But two wrongs doesn't make a right.
Right.
You marrying without your mother's consent, without doing anything, wouldn't bring any good results. What happens when you marry after marriage? There are so many things in marriage that you wouldn't see now, but when you get into marriage, you will know that you need a support from somewhere, and you need it maybe from your mom. Yes, her heart is really hard now, but what if you bring other people into it? What if you consult other people? Should you just give up because your mom says she hits you? We try to make peace with other people when they show that they do hate us. But now it is your mother. She gave birth to you. You see, there is this adage that says that the tongue and the teeth fight occasionally, but afterwards they both live peacefully in the same mouth. Your mom have shown so much hatred towards you, but what should you do? You shouldn't react wrongly. You should rather solve this peacefully. And I think she needs to bring other people in, respectful people. Maybe the woman will just calm down. I know she has gone too far. She has really gone too far, but she has to involve other people into this. And I think all will be well. Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like all my panelists are saying go to your mother's friend, go to your family, go to her church, go to your pastor, and let them talk to her, and hopefully this will clear up all these issues. Hopefully, I hope that this will clear up the issue, because this is just devastating. We have to go for a quick break. When we come back, I would ask my panelists about the mother's attitude, but obviously I'm looking at my time and I don't think we have enough time for me to go for the break, so I'll just continue with the conversation. Toka, yes. You've seen this woman saying that I hate you, and I'll make your life miserable, and you think you can get married over my dead body. And when the man even went ahead to say, oh, I've heard all you're saying, but as he said, you must be mad, not in this house. You know,
she sacked him.
Yeah, she sacked him because she sees somebody that is saying that, okay,
no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what said, she said, my plan is not going to work in this house, you know. And then the daughter came and she asked, oh, why do you hate me so much? And she was forthcoming. I have never heard or seen this before. It's so strange for a mother to stand, look into the eyes of her child and tell her that, I mean, yes, I'm going to make your life miserable. What can you tell this woman? Like, if you had the opportunity to sit down with her, hopefully she doesn't turn on you and beat you, but what can you tell her? What advice can you give her? Or any mother watching who doesn't have a great relationship with their child, what would you tell them to do? Is there any professional help you think they should go for that can help solve or salvage the situation? Because this is just sad.
From the story, right? The lady lost her father at the age of 10.
Yes.
So let's say if she's now even 25 or something, I mean, she's ready for marriage. So let's say 25.
Yeah.
That's 15 years of hatred.
I know.
After the death of your husband. Probably the woman needs someone to talk to. I mean, someone should talk to the woman. If it's prayers, spiritually, I don't have eyes to see what's going on in her spiritual life, but I think she needs prayers. Aside people talking to her, I mean, giving her advice, counseling her, she needs prayers as well, because this is very, very strange. I mean, people are in churches praying for just one child. They are not getting. And by God's grace, you have, and now I mean, it's all hatred towards your own child.
It's something else.
And a daughter, of course. I mean, every mother's dream is to see her daughter get married, and they'll be like, are you from Ame? Are you from Ame?
Right.
But this is an opposite of, I mean, what society would want to see in this woman. Yes, so she needs to be talked to, and then she needs prayers. That's all I can say. Yeah.
She needs prayers.
Yes.
I mean, before I come to you, Esther, I'd like to read some of our comments so that we can continue. This one is from Mame Adjo Aka, who says, what about your extended family from your dad's side and that of your mom's side? Have you spoken to any of these extended family members about how your mom treats you? If she goes to church, have you spoken to her pastor or anyone who can sit her down and speak to her? I don't think in Ghana it's the mother that gives the daughter's hand in marriage. If your father is dead, his family members are there and can stand in for him. That is if they were effective in your life. Even your mom's family can do that. But before any of these ensue, make sure that you get responsible people to sit her down. Some mothers have made their daughters their rival and competitors. This is very sad. Okay. Dipsy 7 says, please, is this letter from an Adventist? If so, let her invite her to their pastor and talk things over and probably get a psychologist involved. Our dear mothers carry ugly scars of their past and tend to be influenced to behave the way they do. They need help. But if cutting her out will help your sanity, then go ahead and do so. Remember, however, to do what the Holy Bible requires a daughter to do for her mom, and keep praying for deliverance for her. Sending hugs. Okay, Thomas Odama says, if your mother is using her mother authority on your happiness and preventing you from getting married, then I guess you should force her hand by getting pregnant. No! Who is that going to help? Not at all. I don't think that is the way to go. And he continues to say, if you want to do it the right way, then you should pray to God and apply wisdom. Yeah, that's the way that hopefully she chooses. Because getting pregnant, do you think this woman cares? She's now going to make her life miserable and tell the whole world that she got pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay, Ernest says, this is mind-boggling. Go ahead and marry, never mind her. This is not disobedience and will never attract curses. However, be technical in an attempt to cut her off from you. So, as we can see, people have different opinions. Esther, coming to you, what advice would you give such a mother? Like, what would you tell her? If any mother is watching us at home who has terrible relationship with their child, in your own little way, how best can you help them in this situation? What would you tell the mother to do?
Evie, I'm looking at it that I think the woman needs a husband. She needs a husband. Before she can slide this behind her, she needs a husband. Okay, so if she thinks she can fall in love again, she should fall in love again so that she can leave her daughter out of this. Okay, because I would say the past is gone. The harm has already been made.
Right.
Okay. Her daughter, no matter what it is, you can't throw your daughter away.
That's true.
Okay. So just leave it behind you. Make amends with your daughter. She's the only one. You can talk with her. She can be like a husband to you. Not like a man, but at least she will be your confidant and all that. But if she needs a husband, she should rather get hers so that her child will also be free and get married.
Yeah, she needs a husband, huh? Henrietta, what would you tell such a mother?
Well, this woman has gone far, and I think just a mere advice wouldn't really do much.
Right.
But she would have to realize her true state of herself. She hasn't come to accept the fact that she has grown this hatred in her. She only thinks that she's taking revenge, whether for her husband or I don't know. And I think she didn't get the time to mourn her husband really well, because instead of her doing that, she rather took it on her daughter, hating her. So that moment of mourning her husband and accepting the fact that my husband is gone and I should embrace it and live peacefully with my daughter and have this love, and maybe even there might be an opportunity for her to fall in love again, like Esther said. But all that didn't happen, and she's still having this bitterness in her. She will need a therapist. She will need a psychologist. She needs to bring all this hatred in her out. She needs to batter it out, because she has suppressed it for a very long time. That is why she was able to tell her daughter that I hate you. Because it has gone too far for her. She has suppressed it for a very long time. So this time around, she needs someone, a professional person to speak to bring out all this hatred in her. It didn't just take just an elders coming in the house. No, she will need a session of therapy.
Yeah.
Also prayers. The daughter should pray for the mother. She should pray for the mother. Yeah.
That's true. I completely agree. Let me take a few more, then I'll take your final words, then we can go. Nana Kwesi Amwedu Jr. says, hi, boss Toka. And then he goes on to say, psychologically, the boys tend to grow attached to their mom and girls attached to their dad. But it's advised that at a certain stage of their growth, they should be detached to the same sex. That's the girls being detached from their dad to mom and the boys detached from their mom to dad, so that they can have a well-balanced affection from both parents. Else, it might result in the I prefer a guy like my mom or dad syndrome. And he continues to say, I believe the detachment I mentioned in my comments didn't happen as it was supposed to, and that is the reason why it has warranted the form of jealousy that has grown into hatred. Mark Favor says, this is so hard to think of. And then you can see that from the conversation, a lot is going on. People have different opinion. Others are saying she should go ahead. So this comment is from Revivalist Mordecai, who says this is a serious issue and settling it will involve more than one professional, a pastor and a counselor. I think you should speak to your uncles first. If that doesn't work, then get your church elders and the pastors involved. If that also doesn't work, then you can go ahead with the marriage at the court. Okay, time is running quickly. So Toka, I'll ask you for your final words. What will be your final words to the mother and then to the daughter?
So to the mother, as the mother has to accept that she has grown some hatred for the daughter. It is only when she comes to that realization that when she sees a psychologist or someone talks to her, that is when she will be able to accept it, process it, and then see that, hey, this lady is my own daughter, and whatever I'm doing, I mean, I'm really making her life miserable, I'm frustrating her life.
Right.
The daughter too, yes, she shouldn't go ahead with the marriage for now. She should kindly hold on.
Okay.
And then let her talk to her aunties, her uncles, the church. She should involve the church as well. And then after that, I think peace will prevail, and then
she can go ahead. Well said. Esther, final words.
Okay. I'll say to the lady, she needs prayers. Her mom needs a lot of love from her. Though her mom is portraying a lot of hatred for her, she should love her mom unconditionally. That is it. And I think one day it will break up.
Yeah.
One involving her elders, her uncles, the pastors, and all that. Just one day. She shouldn't hate her for any reason. She shouldn't hate her. At least for now, she shouldn't hate her. Because she should rather put herself in her mother's shoes. If I were my mom, how would I also have behaved? Okay. So I also tell the mother, it is past and gone. The harm has already been made, and it's also from your own daughter, not from an outsider. So she needs to forgive and forget, so that she'll be happy again. The more she harbors this hatred in her, she is also developing health issues.
True.
She will die out of hatred, and that will be the worst of it.
That's true. That's true.
It needs to be loved. So the daughter should love her and then portray a lot of things for her mom to know that no matter what I'm doing to my daughter, she still loves me. So what again do I need to change for the best? It's sad, but he has to try.
She has to try. I agree. Henrietta, your final words.
Okay, so my final words is to the daughter. I would say that now she has come to the realization that the mom has a problem with her. The mom hates her. And I will say she should avoid one-on-one encounter with the mom concerning this issue, because both of them coming together or trying to speak about this issue wouldn't yield to anything. It might even yield to anger and she saying something against her mom. So she should involve neutral people, just like we said. And we will look at something from when we look at Matthew 18:15-17. When your brother has anything against you, now it's a mother. If your mom has anything against you, you speak with her, which she has already done that, and it hasn't yielded to anything. So then she should bring in 2 or 3 people who will be witnesses to speak with the mom. And if that doesn't yield to anything, she should bring in church members, pastors. She should speak to the church. And I think by then, and through, like we suggested, she going through series of therapy.
Yeah.
By then, I believe that the woman would have come down and everything would be settled. If not, then the Bible will say then we should leave her. She'll be seen as a Gentile because everything has been done. All measures has been executed, yet she's still the same. So with that, then I think the only thing we can do is to pray for her.
Yeah. Pray for her. We've heard pray for her throughout this discussion, and I completely agree. I mean, I think the child should make it a point to pray for the mother, and I think she should involve all the right people she can. And then we've spoken about therapy for the mother, but I think the daughter needs therapy, like complete therapy. She needs to go for counseling. She needs to unlearn all the things that she's learned in her home, or she'll be walking around with trauma and baggage and she would have no idea. And it can even affect her relationship with her children. It's either she will go overboard to be an overcompensated mother to her children, or it can create issues where she might not even want to encourage her children and their father's relationship because of how it's negatively affected hers. There's so much going on in the story. So I would recommend that she goes through therapy, she goes to see a counselor, and also whoever she gets married to, she makes the person aware of what is going on in her family, because her marriage can suffer because of that. Imagine your in-law, let's say if this woman doesn't agree and she goes ahead to marry, and there will never be peace. The in-law would hate the husband, it would just be chaos in the home. So I think she should go for therapy, and then she should pray. And then mother also, one thing we've forgotten is that this woman lost her husband when she was young, because if her child is 10, and she probably got married early, she was probably late 30s, give or take, early 40s. She was a young woman who lost her husband, a very young widow, and she hasn't dealt with the pain. She hasn't dealt with like the hurt. And now it is showing up in ways that she doesn't even know is happening. This is her only child. She is as lonely as the daughter. They are both lonely and miserable. So I think she's suffering as much as a child, and she's just acting out in ways that is not right. Because I doubt that a mother would not love their child. That doesn't make any sense. That goes against our biology as human beings. And so you should know that there's something else happening. Then hopefully they get all the help they can get. Hopefully their church come together to help them. And at the end of the day, they are both happy, because this can't continue to happen. It shouldn't take death for someone to regret their actions. And if we are not careful, that is where it may lead. So my prayer is that they come together and they get their bond that they need from each other and heal before this transcends into their next generation, you know. Hopefully it works out for you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming. It's been such a great conversation. Toka, you are always available when we call. Thank you so much. But before we go, I have 30 seconds for each of you. Who do you want to say hi to? Obviously, I said Auntie Martha, so you can't say her. Say some.
My family and
Your
friends.
family and friends? Okay, great. Henrietta, all the way in the UK, who are you saying hi to?
Okay, my family in Ghana and my friends, GGs, everyone, friends back on Techiman campus, everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Esther.
Yeah, my family in Accra, the Forsen family, the Tapa family in Techiman, and then Sofumami Setina and family.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you all so much for watching. Setina, you've heard your name, so today I'm not going to give you a shout out. But thank you for all that you do for the show. Thank you to my amazing audience for always tuning in and for watching. We'll be back same time next week with yet another interesting story and conversation. Remember, you can also share your story with us. Thank you for leaving your comments. Thank you for opening your doors to us all the time. To our crew, thank you for the amazing work you do and your dedication to this channel. Please continue to watch the rest of the content on Hope TV, your preferred Christian TV station. And we will be back same time next week. My name is Evie. Please do enjoy the rest of your day.